Dear friends, welcome to another thought provoking episode of The Human Weave. We are in episode 3, Redefining Fatherhood, a journey of love, strength, and inclusion, in season 2, Breaking Stereotypes. Through this season, we challenge the status quo and dive into stories of transformation, resilience, and breaking barriers. I'm your host, Rosh, and while Yash hasn't joined us today due to certain personal commitments, I know her presence and thoughtful energy are very much here in spirit. Today, I feel a deep sense of awe and gratitude as I bring you a conversation with someone who has spent his life defying expectations and reshaping the way we view young men, family, unconditional love, advocacy, and inclusion. Our guest today is Aditya Tiwari, a social reformer, disability rights activist, and a change maker who has dedicated his life advocating for children with special needs. A software engineer at International Bank, Aditya also leads the Corporate Social Responsibility Initiative to support employees with dependents who have special needs. But Aditya's story goes far beyond his corporate role. I started following Aditya's story right from the beginning through an adoption support group. We were both part of the group, and I have ever since felt amazed at this young man's conviction. At just 28, he became the youngest single adoptive parent in India to welcome a child with special needs. His son, Avnish Tiwari, born with Down syndrome and beautiful smiling eyes, has since earned over 35 awards, including 2 prestigious national honors and multiple world records. Their journey together has shattered stereotypes and reshaped the conversation around adoption, disability, and inclusion. As a volunteer, Aditya has touched the lives of over 100,000 individuals with disabilities, caregivers, and professionals. He has traveled across India and beyond, speaking on the rights of orphan children and individuals with disabilities. His advocacy work even led him to scale Mount Everest with Avnish, a powerful statement in raising awareness for people with special needs. Aditya's relentless efforts have not only led to changes in India's adoption laws, but also contributed to dismantling a child trafficking network and rescuing thousands of vulnerable children. He has been recognized by the United Nations in Geneva and honored at the World Economic Forum in Davos for his work towards sustainable development goals related to special needs and child welfare. In a world that often defines people by their limitations, Aditya and Avnish's journey reminds us that true strength lies in breaking stereotypes and reshaping narratives. We are incredibly honored to have Aditya join us today to share his journey of breaking stereotypes, advocating for change, and challenging all of us to rethink our assumptions about family, inclusion, and the power of human spirit. Welcome, Aditya.
Yeah, thank you, Roshni.
So let's begin with your childhood. I'm curious to know what shaped your early thoughts and values in life.
So early childhood is just like a typical child. I was average in studies, and my parents want me to explore engineering once I completed my schooling. So uh, that's the only thought in my mind. And second thing is like, yeah, I was more mischievous. So every time my parents get worried, like if I can't become an independent, so what would be my life? So they are always worried about my education part, the career part. So there was a burden on me as well. Like I have to make sure that I will clear the exams on with the proper marks or the percentages required to get the good engineering college and then to get selected in the campus selections and proceed my career.
Yeah. And had you ever imagined the journey that you have taken on now?
No. So, means it's a childhood dream. What I am doing, it's like to do something different, right? To adopt a child was my childhood dream, right? But since you know it's a taboo in our country and people don't openly talk about it, so yeah, it was my dream. But there is no way I can talk with someone, take advice, and to know more about it. What is adoption? So I came to know about adoption when I started my adoption journey.
When you talk about the dream, how did that dream come to you?
I believe I saw in movies or heard about adoption, right? In fact, so I thought, okay, I will also adopt a child.
Hmm. Was it a very passing thought?
Just around when I was, I believe, first I was around 7 or 8 year old. That time I thought, and it was in my mind.
It's interesting because I was probably 17 or 18 when I myself had this thing that I want to adopt. And it started from a place that, I felt I have parents, and still there were some needs I felt weren't being met, whereas a lot of needs were being met. And I was imagining about children who don't have parents. And that is something that motivated me. And I'm amazed that even you had this from your childhood, quite young. How did destiny play a role in bringing you to meet your beautiful baby, Avnish?
Of course, yes, because it was not planned. And second thing, like it was my willing to adopt a child, as I mentioned from the childhood, right? So destiny has its own plan to fulfill those dreams. So I met my son in an orphanage, and they said nobody wants to adopt him because of the medical condition he has, so-called special needs, the intellectual and the physical needs he was having. And I decided, okay, if nobody wants it, give to me. So that was just a spontaneous thought. I was 26. I wasn't aware about what is child adoption, what is the process, how it goes. It comes under which law, which ministry, right? It was just a spontaneous decision after meeting Avi. His name was Vinay in orphanage, and I thought, okay, if nobody wants, give to me. And yeah, so my journey of adoption starts from here. And as a common man, as just started my career, I wasn't know about parenting, about child adoption, the process in India, like, and how it will go.
Mm. How was it meeting Avnish?
Like in an orphanage first time. Yeah, it was nice. I believe he was just sleeping in a small bed, and I hold him in my arms, and he was trying to hold my finger, and I thought we had some connection. We were looking at each other, and I thought, okay, I just adopt him.
So you have defied conventions at multiple levels, adopting as a single man, parenting a child with special needs, standing up against systemic flaws, if I could say. What does breaking stereotypes mean to you at a personal level?
These all are mindset, right? Individual mindset, society, they have created it. And at certain point, if you believe that you are right and you don't find any logic behind those stereotypes, so you can just speak it simple. It's no need, it's not mandatory to follow, right? Like for adoption, when a child born, so from the gender, we decide the roles and responsibility. If it's a boy, look for career, then take care of a family. If it's female, look for household stuff, take care of a family at home, and the financial expenses to be covered by a man, and the household things to be covered by a female. So this is what the mindset is. Though even you provide the equal education opportunities, but you don't prefer a man to upbring a child, to take care a child at home, and female to go outside. Now the things are getting changed. Okay, so in my cases, the first thing is with this stereotype about man, why you want to adopt a child. You can't do that. It's the female job. You can't be a parent to a child, right? It's not possible. It's never happened before. Second thing, the main challenge was is the laws. Like a minimum age to adopt a single parent was 30 years, and I was unfit in this criteria. Okay, and third thing is the major concern in our country is log kya kahenge? What other people will think of you? Okay, why you want to adopt a child, why special need child, what is the need of adopting a child at this age, focus on your career. So these are the few things like I faced repeatedly randomly until I adopted a child.
As you were navigating this, when you chose to kind of challenge the societal norms, What was the biggest resistance you faced? Was it from the world, society at large, your loved ones, or it was within yourself?
And these are the common thing, and I was aware about it. Like in family and society, nobody will accept it. Nobody will support a decision adopting a child, right? So I was mentally prepared. The main was it's like changing the law because you can't do it. As a
Hmm.
common man, nobody will consider your request as an exception as well. So it's a difficult task. Okay, so like convince the government to make the changes in the law, to consider my case as an exception, or to make the change in the law for everyone so everyone will adopt a child once they turn certain age. The questioning to the government and challenging them was the difficult task. Like I
Hmm.
was asking them on what basis you have decided the age 30 when as per the laws male and female can get married at the age of 18 and 21, they can produce their child and they can become parent. So why the laws for adopting a child as a single parent and on what basis the 30 year is defined? So there must be some logic behind it, right? So this was the main point I have raised, and it was a difficult task to chasing them because nobody is going to hear you. You cannot talk directly to the ministers, to the authorities who are involved in making the laws, right? So that was the difficult task during my journey, and I decided, okay, I will go for it. And it took me around 1.5 years from the starting. I met Avi to getting his custody. There were so many hurdles, societal mindsets, like why you wanted, and of course, when he was in a orphanage, he was in child trafficking. He was not in the government record, so I have to highlight or expose those organizations as well who are involved in it. So filing various grievances, petitions, right, reading about the laws. Initially no lawyer was ready to take my case because according to them, there is nothing in this case. We cannot adopt a child. It's not possible. It's never happened. Maybe I didn't find a right lawyer. But so you have to fight everything by your own, writing petitions, grievances, meeting ministers, concerned authorities, and state and central, taking their advice. And the worst part is the traveling for me because I was working in another state. I have to travel to another city, state to meet my son. So that to and fro distance, on road distance, cost me around 1,800 kilometers in every
Oh.
trip. Every week I was traveling. That cost me around 7,000 rupees per week to traveling and just meeting the concerned authorities department. So these are the challenges I face. I believe at this time there was no one to understand the journey I was going through and why I want to adopt a child. And according to everyone, like it won't happen because you're not eligible. And go why the government will change the law for you, who you are, just a common man. So be in your limit.
I I'm very curious. You were 26 at this point.
Yes.
What was your emotional scape or mindscape at that point when you knew there is so much obstacles in front of you?
See, there is no way to measure it, right? Yeah, but it was sometimes it's feeling very disappointing because is ready to understand why you want to adopt a child. That there was only one thing everybody was asking: why to adopt a child at this age? You're a man, you cannot adopt a child, you cannot take care of a child. Only a female can take care of a child. What do you know about special needs? Why special needs? So everybody was asking about why. No, he wants to know about the reason why I'm doing this. Right. And there was no specific reason. I felt a connection. I thought I must go, and I believe that every child deserves a family just because of the birth defects. See, birth defects, nobody asked for it. Okay. Like it's just a destiny, right? A child born with a birth defect. Chromosome disorder is one of the birth defect, right? But he was born and with other health issues as well. So I was more focusing on about getting a family, getting a support what he needs, instead of just giving time to the people what they are asking me.
What do you think is the biggest misunderstanding society or people have about special needs? What is the fear that is there?
See, it's not only about special need. It's all even with the typical kids, right? So the only one thing, the only main issue, what I believe is the expectations.
Hmm.
Everyone have expectations. See, the people have expectations on the gender as well. Though you don't have any issues, The child is like a so-called typical normal, but they have a preference on gender as well. So the gender preference is there. Then second thing is that due to the lack of support system in the society and the awareness as well. So special need is the right term which we have given. It's just simple a medical condition. A child is born. Nobody wants to use the word so-called disability. They prefer to call it disability, differently able, divyang, special needs, and there are many more, right? But the point is, are we know what are their requirements and how to work with them? Are we equipped with the right information, infrastructure, and resources? So we need to ask this question. See, in fact, the main issue is with the awareness. People don't identify the special need category. Their category is intellectual disability or any kind of chromosome disorder or physical or like visually impaired. There are 21 categories are there. Even the most of the, not most, but they are the professional, the people who are working in this field, they are not aware about it. So the problem is with the awareness. And it's not awareness, people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to equip with the right information and knowledge. So here are the major concerns. See, there is no issue with a child born with any kind of birth defect or any kind of medical condition, but how we are taking it. Only because uh, see what happened, like couple plan for a child, and when they get a child and they identify it, the child has some medical condition, so their expectations break because they have their own expectations. Even when the child born, and everybody start giving their name, and you will decide their caste, religion, their what career options they are going to select, and even you plan for their family as well, right? So those expectations break, right? So, and in fact, the worst part in most of the cases, it's the way the professional break this news about the special need, right? Sometimes they only talk about negative. Now your life will be very difficult in terms of physical, psychological, emotional, financial expenses will increase. Now your child can't do anything. So this is also very common. So in fact, for the new parents, when their expectations breaks and then they came to know about the child medical condition, they feel really bad about it. It's not easy for them to accept it. So these are the challenges we have. Then later on, the early intervention, nobody knows about it. And then the denial mode. The worst thing is the denial mode. If the child have a medical condition, if you have identified, accept it. Start working on it. Instead of giving an excuse, no, by time it will solve, it will happen. It just the child is taking more time. Suppose if required a speech therapy or physical, any kind of therapy is required or medical intervention is required. So don't be in a denial mode. Accept it, work accordingly as per the requirement. So understand about the early interventions, understand about the therapies, what therapies are important and required. The major challenge what parent faces, see, like they, not the parents, it's like everyone. Like we are in our routine, our life is like we have chosen our career options, we got the job, we are doing our roles and responsibilities. When something different comes, we are not ready to accept it and explore in that field. We must equip with the right information ourselves first before working and talking about the child, like why it is happening. It can be like cure, not cure, because the special need doesn't mean it can cure always or it cannot cure always. It depends on what kind of medical condition the person is having. It's genetic, it's non-genetic, right? So they also have to understand this, equipped with the right information, approach the right people, right professionals. So people currently they have very less patience, and they are not ready to take the responsibility, and they don't want to explore the options, read, equip themselves with something new which is coming to their life, right? Few people are, they are doing it, their life is good, they are enjoying their life with their loved ones who have a medical condition, right? And few who do not want to, so they are struggling with it. And see, nowadays one of the reasons the children with, once the parents identify the child is having any kind of medical condition, they left in an orphanage, right? They surrendered the child, and nobody wants to adopt a special need child as well, right? So the problem is with the mindset, and we don't want to explore the world for them. We talk about inclusion, but it is not, because few parents and even if you talk about our country, right? In every state, the and city, the support system is different. You can find more awareness in the big cities, and small cities, you won't find the more awareness about it. And in fact, even now, the parents are facing issues in getting their child admitted in the schools. So there is a non-acceptance in the admission or with the regular school because the schools uh, those are not equipped with the right infrastructure and resources. Second thing, of course, they have a concern that other parents may take this in a negative way, or they will object it. So there are many challenges. And in the medical support, like insurance is the biggest struggle for people to get the claim, to enroll them in the insurance cover. So this is, though IRD has mentioned it, no insurance company deny for providing an insurance claim to people with special needs, right? They
They
must
deny it.
consider. But yeah, they used to deny. And for any XYZ reason, though, I used to get query from the parents, and I say, why don't you fight for it? Raise a concern, write, file a grievance, and petition against the insurance company, inform the IRDA. Just take some extra steps to make sure that your child is covered under the insurance uh, by the insurance company. In corporates, the life is easy in terms of medical support, but if you take it individually, it is difficult. So medical education, and if you don't get early intervention, the therapy centers, it's difficult to get the right therapies. Most of them are like a dumping zone or the daycare centers. There is no mission and vision in most of the cases. Like what next? Most of the people, the audience, they are only focusing on getting the basic milestone achieved. That's it.
I mean, it's a very important point you raise, that it's the mindset. It's the problem is not the child is a special needs child, but the mindset that people have so much problems with accepting it and including the child, and going ahead from where they are. um how was it for you? Like, you were 26, definitely you didn't know um, all these things that you were talking about, the difficulties with the law, or what are the facilities available, or even understanding special needs. How did you kind of navigate that phase?
See, that start with acceptance. Before adopting a child, before getting a custody of my son, I was aware there is a medical condition. Though my background is different, by profession I am a software engineer. I don't know anything about the medical, but I thought just to explore, learn more about it. What is Down syndrome? How it caused? What are the do's and don'ts? How the therapy plays an important role in achieving milestones. And my son having many other health issues apart from Down syndrome. Down syndrome is one, which is a genetic chromosome disorder, cannot cure. Apart from that, he has many other health issues as well: hole in the heart, constipation, thyroid, squint eyes, undescended testes, and the problem with the knees. They said he won't be able to stand on his own feet ever in his life without support, and hole in the heart required immediate surgery, otherwise there will be a problem. So many issues he was having. Then even for getting to remove the wax from the ear, I need to get him hospitalized, getting him a short-term anesthesia, and then they will remove it because it blocks the ear. He's having a solid wax. So many challenges are there, but the only thing is that acceptance. It's from both. It's from the child and a parent. Second thing, I was not looking for any miracle. And third, I don't have any expectation. I just want my son to enjoy his life, explore the world. That's it, no matter how and what he achieved. So yes, the basic milestone, the like I was focusing on his therapies, and I'm trying my best to provide everything what he needs. So it's time by time, and see, parenting is a learning journey, right? Uh, you can see everyone ask about it, like many questions about parenting, and I used to say that, see, parenting is not based on gender, because they ask me about you're a male, then how you take care of a child. When I used to tell everyone that, see, parenting, it's not based on gender. Female give birth to a child, but child is the one who gave birth to a parenting, and that doesn't depends on gender. The person who is ready to take the responsibility can become a parent. And see, it's a learning journey. So I'm a parent and I'm learning from my son how to become a parent. And every day we are learning something new, different. So there is no end to it, right?
That's a very beautiful point you brought in, because most people don't think like you. And it is also important for you to accept that, that though that's the right approach with a child, but not go with the preconceived notion of what a parent does, but follow the child, let the child take the lead in a lot of cases, and bring the word responsibility that you said. Parenting is a responsibility, and to bring that in, and I think that is something that people should stop and look at when you are saying this, even with um, not children with special needs, but other children also. It is the same case. We, like you mentioned it, you go in with, okay, you're gonna have this child, and then you're gonna do these things. The child is gonna go to this school, and you've already decided so many things that you don't want to break from it. Any break from that feels hard to accept.
It's a cycle, right? They are just following the same thing, what is followed from last 50, 100 years.
So did you realize that you are kind of breaking that? People are not able to understand because you're doing something absolutely different.
See, we never waste, like me and my son, never waste our time and thinking about log kya kahenge, what other people will think of it. We only follow our heart, and it's okay to fail, but we always try to do something different to enjoy this life, right? To explore the world in whatever way we can, because ultimately this is what the life is, right? I cannot
Mm.
follow the same tradition, same thing, which don't have any logic, right? And the first thing, like when I got my son Avnish, Avi, and everybody was calling parents and the professional, and they were saying you have to only focus on the milestones, the basic thing he can do to sustain and survive in this world. That's the only thing. Those are the benchmark, and those are the milestones to be achieved. That's it. Your goal should be to achieve the basic milestone. Like he wear the clothes independently, every regular task by his own. That's it. If you achieved it, it means you have done your job. And initially, yes, that was the focus. And then later on, when during my journey of parenting, we thought, no, we will create new milestones and the benchmark, because uh, this is not it, right? The sky is the limit if you have willpower, if you are willing to do something different, new. And trust me, we are not doing something different and new. We are just uh, exploring the same thing what other people have done, and the special need people then get the opportunity.
Hmm.
So we are exploring that. So just to give a message that if you believe in your child, if you have a trust in your child, if you can think your child can do, so your child can do. First, start believing in your child. I never think about the Down syndrome, the condition he is having. I never think about the limitations. It's okay. If he wants, we will explore. If it's fail, we will try again with more preparedness, right? But instead of just leaving it because of Down syndrome, we don't consider this option.
I do see that you are very strong with the conviction that you have about your child. And like you said, it did not matter what's happening around you. But have there been people who have understood you or supported you? Or is there a moment where you witnessed pure kindness uh, in your situation? Because it can be a very lonely journey.
Of course. So, of course, it's the nature, it's the God, and we see the miracles happening around us when we were in the journey, because otherwise it was not an easy task. Right? A common man make the change in the adoption law because of one child who is in orphanage. That was not an easy task. It's just the God, it's just the destiny, and they have planned for us. So we are just leading this. But yes, we got the support time by time from many individuals. Like the changing the law, it's done by the Honorable Minister that time for the WCD, Srimati Meneka Gandhi ji. She understand the journey. She made the changes. Make sure that I get the custody of child. So there are people time by time when God think that okay, I need this support or I stuck somewhere. So they have sent their so-called messengers and they help us start to just move away, move ahead in our journey. So yes, there are few doctors sometimes. See, it's difficult to get the good doctor, but we found a
Yeah.
good doctor who is a cardiac pediatrician who is very senior because he is having a holes in the heart. So to take a proper advice, right? There are few professionals who is working in the field. So time by time, yes, there are few people who always supported, who understand the journey, and they were like, look, we are doing this because we never saw this is happening. We never think of it, it will happen. Right? This is not the easy task, right? What you are doing. So we believe to just support you in whatever way we can. There's a center, Ayurveda center, which is owned by Dr. Sarat Tadanki, who is based in US. So who is always willing to explore with us what work we are doing, the new things we are doing, and just supporting, guiding, sharing information. And Avnish is like ambassador for the Smrta now, which is a Ayurvedic medical center.
So, does that mean that how you have built your relationship with your son has also become a learning experience for a lot of people?
Yes, it is because our journey, so it's starting from adoption, thing what we have achieved so far, and understanding about the parenting. Though even I'm learning, I haven't achieved so much, right? Still, I'm in the process of learning, improving myself. But yes, it is helping because when it comes to accepting a child, I used to get call from new parents when they face an initial struggle in terms of acceptance, in terms of opening, telling family members, other society about the child, then the parents facing issues, understanding the requirement of therapies, what is the importance of early intervention, then the medical support, what they want, the education support in getting their child admission. Then I'm working on the life skills as well and the residential home part, importance of the residential home, and giving counseling to the professionals, caregiver, people who are working in this field. From my experience, my journey, like while intervention is required, therapies are required, how to make a good bond with a child between a parents and a child, right? So these are I am sharing with the people based on my journey, my experiences, right?
B-
So it's helping the whole community because anyways, someone needs to talk about everything. And of
Yeah.
course, we are helping people who are willing to adopt a child as well.
So, when you are talking about creating that bond with your child and empowering parents with that knowledge, if I had to ask you, what is the smallest step a parent could take towards connecting more, or strengthening that emotional bond with their child? What should they be focusing on?
See, is the acceptance and a trust,
Mm.
right? My child can do anything is possible, and don't put any kind of expectations. Go with the interest of the child, respect their choices, accept it. Okay, always ready to learn new things. Accept it. Parents can also make mistakes. They can also be wrong. Accept it in front of your child. Yes, I'm wrong. Just accept it, right?
Yeah. Where do you find your strength in such times when, you are there to explain these things to parents who are reaching out to you, but for you, that was not the situation probably. Have you felt lonely in your mission, and where do you find strength in such times?
I talk to my son. I tell him what I'm going through, what I want, it's happening, not happening. So I talk to my son. He knows it, and even from the first day, when he was in orphanage, when he used to connect, we used to look at each other. So I feel that he's telling me something from his eyes when the condition was not in our favor. But when I go and meet with him, he was looking at me, and I feel the message like he's telling me just go on, move on, don't give up, because it was not an easy journey. My adoption journey was it's not easy for 1.5 year chasing the concerned department, ministry, central minister, and traveling for 1,800 kilometers every week when you are the only one who is earning in your family, and the career, the profession is also equally important about the personal choice you have made to adopt a special needs child, though you haven't got the custody of a child. So uh, he was the person, or he was the pushing me just to go and move on for everything. So since then I am talking to him, whatever in my mind I share with him, and I feel that he is understanding. So the point is, I believe that whatever I'm sharing with him, he is understanding, he is responding to it. Because sometime in parenting, like based on the age or experience, we used to tell that you won't understand, this is not your age. But this is not the case to me and with my son. Explaining what is happening in office and other personal life, professional life, what I want, what I have achieved, not achieved, everything.
And when you're saying that you do talk to him about things, does he understand the intensity in terms of what's happening in the world and what's in comparison to what's happening in his life?
I don't think it's matter to him. I just need a person to whom I openly talk about it, and I feel good and confident later on with his
Yeah, of
expression.
course.
That's it I was looking for. I don't want him to understand what is happening in the entire world. I just want him to be in his own world and enjoy his life and just focus on his life, what he wants, and always happy. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's such an important perspective we should keep as parents. I mean, I am a parent too, and sometimes we fall prey to as parents the outside world's pressure. And it's so important to step aside and think that no, it's your child, and then it's about introducing that child into the world, not the world accepting your child.
Right.
What's a memory with Avi that reminds you of the beauty of being a human?
See, memory in terms of we have so many memories, and in fact, the first day when he came home, we met first time. Then mm, every time when we were doing things differently, so all is stored in my mind and in my heart, and we love to explore. We love to see it again and again and talk about it and plan for the short-term goals, long-term goals. Like year-wise, we plan. It's okay if we can achieve. If we don't achieve, doesn't matter. Yes, but we talk about it.
Wow. And you have scaled Everest with your son, a feat that is both physical and symbolic in a way. In that moment, what was the sense of achievement that you felt?
Yeah, he wants to go, and I was his spotter, right? He wants to go and explore the mountains. I was watching a movie, and he asked me, "What is this? What people are doing here?" I said, "It's a Mount Everest." He said, "Okay." I asked him, "You want to go?" And he said, "Yes, I want to go." I seriously you want to go? Yes. And I told him so many preparation is required. Are you ready? The temperature, acclimatization, height. He said, yes. Okay, so we took it seriously, and we did a training for a year for the altitude, for the temperature, how to respond, and what are the do's and don'ts, and explore everything what is available on the internet about the Everest, about tracking, how to go, how to plan. We did it for a year, and the best part was he stick on his decision to go and explore mountain. And we just want to do it for the whole community. Like if you're given an opportunity, the sky is limit. And he did it at the age of 7. When initially he was in an orphanage for more than uh, more than 1.5 year in his life. It was told us like he won't able to stand on his own feet ever in his life because of the problem he's having with his knees and holes in the heart. But yeah, he did it at the age of 7. Only child in the world who did it at the age of 7, right? To reach to certain altitude at the Everest. Yeah, and we thanks to Everest allowing us to explore it.
That's very humble of you to say, but it's a great achievement that the two of you together have brought into your own lives, and something that also impacts so many other children who are looking at you both and believing that they are capable of doing something more than they probably are stuck to. Does Do you talk about it with your son?
Yes, yeah, people are start talking about taking kids with intellectual disability as well to explore hills expeditions, right? So that's good. Yeah, we talk about it like what next we want to explore because the important thing is just break the stereotypes, creating new milestones, benchmarks. So other kids also, other people within a medical condition, special needs also get an opportunity to explore their life with the
Yeah.
interest they are having.
What have you learned about humanity from the children and families you have worked with?
So I want to give an example about the acceptance or how the innocent and pure the kids are. In fact, when a couple plan for a child and it's not as per the expectations, because everybody wants a perfect child when there is nothing called perfect. When the parents are not perfect, when sometimes they are not good looking, they are not physically fit, they are not financially sound, or they may be financially right. But when they are not, but they are expecting from the child, and on the other side, child never complain about the parents immediately after the birth, how you look like, or about the financial things. No, until they start understanding and the comparison starts happening until the age of 5, 6, 8, they don't do. So they accept it whatever way it is. And in fact, in schools also, I find out that the other kids, they really support the children with a special need. But only the problem is with the administration, with the teachers, with the other parents. They don't want their child with a special need. But the children, they don't have any problem with it. They are just exploring. They love it to be with them. They are supporting them in whatever way they can. So we need to understand from the kids. We need to learn from them. Like stop comparison
Yeah.
and stop expecting. Okay, just explore the life. Always playful. Like for my son, he's always happy. He loves to explore. He's very social. Though he's have all kind of emotions. So the same thing I'm learning from him. Just be simple and just live your life. Don't harm others. Explore the world because God has given you the opportunity. Just explore it. You make a meaning to the life, right? What you have lived.
Yeah. What was the experience of being invited to speak at the United Nations?
Yeah, it was a dream comes true. Never expected. Will visit the UN at any point in my life. But yes, I got it at very after adopting Avnish, I believe after 2 years. For the work we are doing it for the rights of orphan children and people with special needs. So yes, got an opportunity and explored it.
So, how has that impacted the work you wanted to do? Has it furthered it for you?
Yes, because see, traveling and going to this place, of course, makes a difference. The way you thought, what you want to achieve, you know what is happening in the different countries. So it's good to know because see, there is a difference between the developed countries and developing countries.
Yeah.
The support system in developed countries and in developing countries, the people think, the priorities. So it's good to explore and then start thinking about how we can implement the good things in our country. Like so now I'm working on SDGs and with supporting special needs, Sustainable Development Goals. You might heard about it, which is defined by United Nations.
Yeah. So, was there opportunity to learn for you as a parent and as a social activist when you go to other countries and you see there are certain other laws or facilities that are there? Um, has that experience kind of added to what you could bring back to our country?
Yes, because the positive things we can take it from anywhere, which will make a difference, which will help to grow, right? So there is no harm in taking the positive things. So yes, we do, and it will help in terms of even the basic things. It's like the mindset and changing the mindset, the new technology they are using. They are aware of making the plans. Suppose giving an example, every parent, if you talk about any parent with a special need, they have a concern about what next after us. But if you ask them what next, did you plan anything? No. We believe to leave it on destiny. Though, of course, destiny has its own plan, but if you ask about it, what next? What you are planning? There are countries they start planning giving opportunities, the importance of residential homes, the importance of livelihood options, the importance of various kind of therapies, sports, like giving them a job opportunity. So many things you can like when you read and what is happening in the other countries, so you can also explore or start creating the same kind of support system in our country.
How difficult is that to kind of replicate something that you've seen or come back and try it out here?
First, to replicate, if anybody wants, or even if you ask me, I need to understand the requirement of our people
Mm.
and how it is feasible to replicate few things. Because if you talk about India, India is a diverse country. Every state have different languages, different way of living, so it's not easy. So you want the support system in every state, in every district, based on their language, based on their food habits, based on their lifestyle. So this is what is required, and the things to be accommodate accordingly. We cannot just replicate anything what is happening in the different world, different
Yeah.
country. We
Yeah.
have to do it based on our requirements. You can learn the concept, but just change the concept according to our needs and requirement. So before going out, or in fact getting those opportunities, I prefer to travel the entire country. And me and my son, we have visited almost every state in last like 8 9 years, and we have participated in more than thousands workshop, conferences, events happening for special needs or for adoption, just to understand the requirement. Because and requirement of a new parent, requirement of a parent between the age 6 to 12 or 14 to 18 or 21, and for the adults 21 and above, right? So everything is different, and based on the requirement we have to work, make the things happen in every district, every state, and it will be different in every state, right? It's not the same.
Yeah. Is it the laws they are centrally recognized, or does it change from state to state again?
See, the generic laws are central. It's in every state. There will be few depends on the states as well. Okay, like the support system. If we talk about the social security amount, monthly disability pension, it's depend on a state to state. Because in law it is mentioned that based on the state capability, how much they earn, for this portion they have to pay as a social security amount. So this is one of the example. So again, yes, it's different in our country. If you go to Delhi, if you go to Mumbai, if you go to Kolkata or Bangalore or Chennai, you will find more awareness. If you go to other states, in Ahmedabad, in Gujarat, you will find few cities have good awareness, but not the same everywhere. So
Yeah.
same level of awareness, resources, infrastructure is not available.
Hmm. You and Avi both have been recognized at the national level also. Uh, does that give you like a foot in the door to work more intensively with the policy changes, or does that give you that recognition to get into that space?
Uh, yes, and also see recognitions from the national level, from the Prime Minister and President of India also boost your confidence as well. The work you are doing it from last 9 years in this field tirelessly, and there were so many challenges, and every time it's like you have to learn, explore yourself first before putting your points or doing something different. So yeah, it was a good opportunity just to do it, the work now more effectively and differently, and to multiply the impact.
Mm. And Aditya, you won the World Best Mother Award, and through your journey, felt like you have redefined, being a man, not as something rooted just in dominance or toughness, but empathy, nurture, action, and a lot of unconditional love. How do you see this shift? What message do you have for others about it?
So about this award, of course, this is something special because during my adoption journey, everybody was questioning, you can't do it, you cannot. take care of a child, even though the special needs child. And as I mentioned earlier, my parenting journey starts when Avi come in my life. I got his legal custody, and since then I'm learning, I'm exploring about parenting, and everybody initially question about my intentions, why I'm doing this, and as per the rules, a male can adopt a boy child, right? They are not allowed to adopt a girl child, though, but people were questioning about why you want, because of the gender, they don't give preference to a single male to adopt even a boy. They don't like motivate it. Okay, but I got the World Best Mother Award. That award, I received it, of course, for the parenting of a week, and I received this award on International Women's Day.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's an example like nothing is impossible. Focus on the work you are doing. If you believe it's true, just go on. Nature will help you. Destiny will definitely help you make a way for you, right? And like a willpower is required, and have some trust in you, whatever the work you are doing is, because uh, the important thing is your intentions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything was impossible. You will never find a 7-year-old boy at the Mount Everest. You will not find anyone, the youngest child who has received the Sarvashresth Divyang Bal Puraskar at the age of 8, a child who was orphaned. That's the youngest at the age of 8. In fact, in the uh, Vigyan Bhavan, when this ceremony was happening, the award ceremony, and they were saying the minimum age for a person to enter in Vigyan Bhavan is 10 and above. But the child who received the award, he was just 8. At the age of 9, he received the second national award from the Prime Minister of India, Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar, where there was no criteria for a special need. You are competing with other every child, so typical child, and he is the only one who received from Madhya Pradesh. Then having 4 world records. At the age of 3, he was invited for a TED Talk. His story was invited for the TED Talk at the age of 3. Then he was registered in a Special Olympic Bharat. Then his story was invited at the TISS, Tata Institute of Social Science as well. Then the child who has many other health issues, he was invited in various corporate. His story of adoption was invited in various corporates to motivate their employees. He is having 4 world records, 2 national awards, okay, and 35 plus excellence award. He received the Child Icon Award in 2023, and just 9 years, 9 plus.
There is so much to learn from that journey. I mean, there is no limit, absolutely, when you're saying all these things for each and every individual, right? Like you're achieving this with your young son who has Down syndrome. It, I can understand why you're being called to all these corporates to bring motivation, because just hearing it, you feel that, oh, you've not been doing so much, not at all, in fact, with your life. I mean, I've felt this. I have a biological child and I'm an adoptive mother. And I have felt that it was sometimes difficult to just explain that, motherhood doesn't come from just um, from giving birth, but that, just the feeling, the intention, like you said, is the most important thing when it comes to motherhood. And in your story, it goes a level above, because you guys are um, breaking gender stereotypes, you guys are breaking um, age stereotypes. uh, it's a different world altogether, and there's so much to
Thank
learn.
you. Thank you.
What do you dream for the future for yourself and Avi?
See, nobody knows what will happen next. So I believe it's a waste of thinking about future, right? It's good to be in present. So what, as I mentioned, we have our short-term goals, our long-term goals. We are focusing on it. We discuss, we talk about it almost every day, how to achieve, how to progress, right? So let's see what comes next. And the last thing see, whatever it's his achievement, it's achievement. I haven't done anything. I'm just a caregiver for him. I'm just supporter for him, and I'm just trying my best to support what in whatever way I can. Nothing much I have done, and he's also adopted a tiger. He's working on a tiger. He's taking training to be a tiger keeper. He loves tigers, so uh, he he's just doing that.
So, like we uh, started the discussion, is it that you follow his lead? Does he come up with these ideas?
Yeah, he come up with the ideas, yeah, and we just go for it. We just explore it. Simple.
What do you think the world needs more of today beyond policies and activism on a human level?
I believe everyone have their own expectations. Even if you talk about individual, if you talk about family, society, community, country, right? So we have to just expectations creating so much of pain and trouble everywhere, right? So I believe that we must think about it and just believe in humanity and just live life instead of making things difficult for others.
How can one consciously cultivate a mindset of inclusion and embrace fellow human beings for who they truly are?
See, you have to just follow the path and the journey, right? Don't be someone you are not. And like in my case, I follow what my son is, and we are just going and accepting it. Whatever coming our way, so just accept it and without any boundaries. See, we create our own boundaries and limitation. If you talk my son, which caste, which religion you belong to, I never tell him. I never ask him to learn. I said, you are Indian. Your first priority, it's your citizenship. You are Indian and you are a human being. That's your religion, that's your caste, and that's your identity. Simple. So we need to just define our priorities. We need to focus for our country who we are, and we need to focus about of the our life. See, the important thing is like at the end of the day, are you happy and satisfied with the life? What you have done, what you have achieved in your life, apart from doing the daily routine work? Is this anything different you have done for yourself, for others? Are you happy? You make someone happy because God has given you the opportunity. So utilize it. Don't waste your time and just what other people think of it, and just leave your creeds and start enjoying life.
When I'm hearing your story, for me, some values like stand out a lot in both of you, father and the son. One is curiosity, the readiness to explore, a lot of humility in who you are. You've achieved so much, but I have not heard you once speak about it as your achievement in that true sense. And a lot of pure intentions. And personally, I feel those are something that every individual can learn from your journey to kind of cultivate those values if possible, to even start moving towards the direction that you have moved.
Yes, thank you.
At the end of your journey, if someone asked Avnish to describe who his father was, what would you hope he says?
Just like he's my papa.
That's the sweetest answer. That's really the sweetest answer. Aditya, just thank you for this very powerful, simple, and yet eye opening conversation. I feel a sense of strength and hope as I sat with you today, navigating your journey and your thoughts and your conviction right from the beginning, and even today with the simple words of, when you put it, you just discuss the small, short term and the long term goals and move ahead with working on, focusing on just today. It's not an easy path, but surely you weren't looking for an easy path, I believe. You're here to follow your heart's path. And your journey of breaking stereotypes and redefining what's possible is truly inspiring. And on behalf of Human Weave and all our listeners, I want to thank you for standing up for the human values that you so beautifully personify through your actions and your words, and for the beautiful son you are raising.
Thank you. Thank you, Roshni, for organizing this.
Dear friends, as you reflect on this episode, I invite you to take a moment to examine the assumptions and beliefs you may carry about family, ability, and the conditioning that shapes our perceptions. True change begins when we question these narratives and choose to see people for who they truly are, beyond labels and limitations. Let's work together to create a world where inclusion isn't the exception, but the norm. Here are a few questions to help you challenge your everyday thought process and become a change maker in your own area of passion. The first one is equality an important value for you? If yes, why? And if not, then what makes it less important? When you encounter someone with Down syndrome or a disability, what emotions or thoughts do you find arise within you? How would you like to transform those emotions into a more positive and empowering response? Reflecting on Aditya's journey, what is one change you can make in your life to help break stereotypes and promote acceptance and understanding? These reflections are just a guide to help you pause, connect, and nurture deeper bonds in your own journey. We hope this episode has shaken up something within you, made you question your own biases, and compelled you to create new bridges in your hearts. We have come to the end of this profoundly meaningful episode. Don't forget to subscribe and tune into The Human Weave. Until then, it's goodbye from your host, Rosh. Stay connected, stay curious.